with arms, a gun, a machete to rob you, the chances are that you get harmed while the person is trying to rob you. So it could either be a cut or a gunshot. You could survive it and you live with that trauma for the rest of your life. Or you don't survive it and the people that are left to mourn you live with that trauma for the rest of their lives. So the reality of things is, in life, it's easy to accept certain things. It's easy to say you lost someone because the person was involved in a car accident, a boat mishap, something that maybe could not have been prevented, as opposed to an accident caused by another individual that can be held responsible and will most likely face punishment. Now, the person facing punishment will not make up for whatever was lost. I'm going to be honest with you right now. If someone kills your loved one and the person is arrested and killed, your loved one doesn't come back to life. So you would still live with that trauma or whatever it is, that reality, that scar, that wound that a so person somewhere killed your loved one. If someone rapes your loved one, or let's say it's you, it doesn't go away. So it's better it doesn't even happen in the first place than have it happen. And then you go back and forth trying to get justice. And sometimes justice is delayed. The case will go back and forth for several years. And then finally, maybe the person knows people in high places and the person gets away with it and is a free person. And you live with it. And maybe you go for therapy as many times as possible, but therapy doesn't cause amnesia. For you, there's no selective amnesia. You don't lose that part of the brain that, just loses that particular memory. Sometimes things happen, you're triggered, and boom, you remember, and boom, you start acting in a certain type of way. So that is why the root cause to preventing all of these things in the first place. Nobody is losing life. Nobody's losing property. Nobody's traumatized. Nobody. I remember the first time someone, robbed. The person came to steal, basically, but I can only imagine how someone could blow. Yeah, it's real. Some people don't believe that they blow that thing. It's real. I couldn't imagine how I was there. I could see the person, but I couldn't move. And the person just picked my phone and left. I still cannot forget it till tomorrow. Or is it when I got to that park? Is it Isaac Park? There's the Abali Park where they load vehicle. Just beside the police station. Twice they tried to rob my phone. I can't forget it. Yes, they didn't take my phone eventually. But for me, it was the fact that a police person or a police station was close by. And they still had the audacity to rob me. It's that deep. So I needed to lay that foundation before moving forward. So we understand exactly why we're having this conversation in the first place. Now, the police say they have arrested the fleeing schoolboy who defiled his 11-year-old female schoolmate at the state secondary school in Rumuokrishi, Port Harcourt. The incident happened last Friday, with online photos showing the moment the bleeding girl was taken to a hospital for treatment. Now, her devastated mother had spoken to our correspondent from the hospital, calling for justice. The public relations officer of the Rivers State Police Command, Grace Iringekoko, tells correspondent Emeka Otuka that the matter has been transferred to the State Criminal and Investigation Department, and the outcome of the investigation will be made known. Mrs. F. Young, that's Barrister Deborah F. Young, spoke to our correspondent, our gender correspondent, yesterday on the said matter, and she had said she was calling for the increased need for sensitization to educate children and adolescents about the consequences of engaging in criminal activity. Now you see that's the center of this conversation. Children and adolescents engaging in criminal activities. Now there are consequences, but why are they even engaging in criminal activities? Recall that the incident happened during school hours, and online reports say that his friends watched and laughed as he pushed her from behind to carry out the act. So you see, not just one child was involved. Other children did not see it as anything that this was a crime. So I had called the news department to confirm the age of the child who performed this or who perpetrated this crime. And he's still a child, by the way, very much a minor. I also recall seeing a story on one of the national dailies about a maid. How old was she? She was also a minor who had stabbed her madam. And also on this show talked about a gang of robbers who had a minor as the gang leader, and the person was apprehended. I've forgotten the state now, still on the sunny side. And that is why I'm asking, what is the root cause of children involvement in crimes? The adults do it. Are they learning these things from the adults? What are they exposed to exactly that tells them that this is how this crime is being performed? What is the level of exposure to the happenings in the world? How do they know? How does a maid know to stab her madam? How does a child know to defile his schoolmate? How do children know to steal, pickpocket? The other day I was seeing the movie Gangs of Lagos, and it somehow mirrored our society. How in traffic a child can pull out a knife and say, "Give me your bag!" And the woman will say, "Come on, small pikin. Wait, they shout for you. Give me, come on if I beat you." And then the child brings a weapon, say, "Bring your bag." And the woman immediately hands over her property because this one not be just pikin where they rob. This pikin don't carry weapon. That's on one hand. So while you try to answer that question, what is the root cause of children involvement in crimes? The second question will be centered around where this happened. If it happened at home, would say, "Oh, nobody was there. Where were the parents? The parents were not doing their due diligence." But this happened in a school environment. Now, it's believed that when a child leaves the house to the school, for the period of time the child will be in the school environment, the school is solely responsible for the safety of the student till the parents come to pick the child. At least that is how it used to be in our days. So if the child goes missing within the school hours, they hold the school, right? Are schools ensuring the safety of the students left in their care enough? Or these days, all they are focused on is just teaching them A for apple, B for book, C for cat, the X, the Y. Government is a process whereby leaders are selected to lead people. Democracy is this and that. Agriculture is this and that. Let's talk. 0817 923 0002. 0817 923 0002. We also have 0817 923 0003. Again, 0817 923 0003. Send us a WhatsApp message, all right? The WhatsApp and Telegram number is 0809 030 6416. Once again, WhatsApp and Telegram number 0809 030 6416. Join the conversation on X, all right? Our X handle is at Nigeria Info PH. And of course, our Facebook page is Nigeria Info 92.3 PH. Remember, our call screener is in standby to take your calls first before passing you on to me in the studio. So when you do call, the first voice you would hear will not be my voice, but other call screener. I encourage you to be a part of this conversation. I look forward to hearing fresh voices. Like I will always say, I love it when you listen, but guess what? It is far more interesting when you are a part of a conversation by either calling in or sending your messages, which will be read in course of the conversation. Again, I'm asking, what is the root cause of children involvement in crimes? Children now, not adults. For adults, they would say it's peer pressure. Oh, it's this, it's that. But then it's children. And a school's ensuring the safety of the students left in their care enough. We have a commercial break coming up in the next, say how many seconds now? 30 seconds. So this call may have to wait till after the commercial break. Can I read a message quickly? You know what? I think everything will have to wait till after the commercial break. It's still the Sunny Side, your number one station for Talk 90.3 Nigerian for FM. Just stay tuned to us. About that, 0817-923-0002 and 0817-923-0003. Again, the WhatsApp and Telegram number is 0809-030-6416. Like I said, we're on X at Nigeria Info page, and our Facebook page remain Nigeria Info 92.3 PH. All right, let's do this. Soki Fubara from Port Harcourt says, sad what school children are exposed to. Our time, it was jet age. Now is what age? Phone pressing age? Or dancing on social media age? Children are exposed to too much uncensored entertainment. It's sad to know what makes today teenagers feel proud amongst their mates. Good grades, excellent essay writing, plus answering questions in class should make teenagers feel fly or proud, not crime or nonsense behavior. It's sad indeed. Good morals should be taught in schools. Try engaging some of these government school children, you'll be shocked at the level of their academic intelligence. Too much access to entertainment and social media is the wahala, and the crime social media can be used for is what is spoiling things. My submission. But there are still people using social media for good, right? Right? Or is it all bad? What exactly are they saying on social media? Denise, the root cause of these bad behaviors from minors is that some parents are too docile to monitor and beat their teenagers blue and black when they are derailing. The society is corrupt already, therefore the onus is on parents to have an owl eye on their teenagers. Parents must learn to spend quality time with their teenagers to spot bad behaviors and give combo beating to stop this behavior. Brightener from Woji. Combo beating. You know, a wise man once told all you want. some children will eventually develop immunity. What some of you would classify as ode she inede enter. I've seen this happen. Oh, trust me, I have. Have you stayed in some compounds and see the way some neighbors beat their children? Especially when you live upstairs. Chances are that you can see what is even happening in other compounds. So a parent beats a child, and the child is screaming, "I will not do it again! I will not do it again! I will not do it again! Please, mommy, please, mommy, please, mommy, please, daddy, please. This. Neighbors will hear. Some neighbors will even be forced to intervene. I beg you, don't do it. No beat me. No go do it again. I'm not telling you what I did not see. And the moment the parent stops beating the child is laughing. What does that mean? That the child was pretending all along to be remorseful. But then the parent just walks away and the child is laughing. And that simply means, after all, it will only end for beating. And some children will outrightly tell you, after all, it will only end for beating. They will not die. So it continues. So if you're saying it's beating, well, I'm not sure beating works on them anymore. Maybe beating used to work in our time. And the level of beating, put us on autocorrect or reset our brain to behave well. Does it work with this generation children? And mind you, maybe in our time, children were committing crimes, but not to this magnitude as we have it now. Maybe, just maybe. Victor from Mumukrushi, welcome to the sunny side. Let's talk.
Okay, good afternoon, Dennis.
Good afternoon. How you doing? Welcome.
I'm good.
All right, talk to me.
Okay. If I would have to go about your words, if I listen to myself, sometimes I tell myself that we are living outside the blueprint of God's principles. Because God has the blueprint, God has his principles, he has his rules. That's why he gave us Bible. Bible is our guideline on how to live. That's why he states it very clearly. He says, train a child the way it should grow. Underline that clause. He said, train the child the way it should grow. That if it grows, he will not depart from it. I look at it that we are running our own syllabus in raising up a child outside God's syllabus. So it must affect us. It must affect us because originally God has his own plan. He has his own blueprint, all his own syllabus of how we should grow, how we should go with children. In our days, somebody will see you misbehaving on the road, coming back from school, going to the school. He will flog you. He will discipline you. And your parents will even support him. And that thing will give you a message that next time if you try it. But these days, you see mothers going to the school, fighting teachers. What did you want to see again? That's our own syllabus running. Now you see sisters, brothers going to school to fight on behalf of. You see children dressing the way they like. You see, we read meanings, different meanings because of social, what do you call it, digital life over it. But it's playing back on us. Whether we like it or not, it must play back on us. Because originally God has his own plan. And the plan that God has towards us is the one that our parents use it for. I think whether we like it or not, let's use it digital or whatever, it will still play back on us if we deflect from God originally kept for us. Because how can imagine, sometimes I look at the kind of madness you see in school with children, not even, I don't know how to, not even somebody that is up to 15 years. You see a child of 13 years with pregnant. How comes? I'll manage.
Okay, pregnancy is one thing.
That if you go to school now,
yeah.
If you go to secondary school now, and see, I want to, let me put it allegedly. You will hardly find virgin from SS1. You hardly find virgin even from SS1.
Virginity and pregnancy is one thing. Criminal activities is another thing. When you define,
they all work together.
Okay.
They all work together. It's as a result of the way we go, the way we do. They say, leave him. After all, those who not say, not be this time, they know they like that. You know, say these children of this age, they are very smart. It's paying back on us. Whether we like it or not, anybody can paint this thing like, but you must play back on us. Because originally, the Bible says in the beginning it was not so. We are trying to do our own. So we must get whatever we see here.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Victor. It's the training. In the beginning, indeed, it was not so. Hi, Double D. During my time in school, things like this never ever happened. Parents were more disciplined and also disciplined children when the need arose. The school was also a place parents had confidence that their children and words will be safe, taken care of, and morals inculcated in them. But this their Gen Z time, the whole thing is upside down. Parents no longer have time for their kids. Teachers don't also care about the kids anymore. They're more interested in buying and selling in school. This their Gen Z. Rita from Woji. During my time, I could do something at home, and my dad would report me to my school. Yes, parents were doing that. You could do something at home, and they say, okay. Or something can happen at home, and parents can go to school and confirm the happening. I dare not bring something that was not put in my school bag home. So there was this periodic search of my school bag, and anything foreign that did not belong to me in that school bag, I had to explain where it was coming from. And the explanation did not end. That explanation will be confirmed. Down to exercise book. You know, there were times when you didn't finish your note, and you borrowed your classmate's note to take home to go and finish what you are writing. And the book is not yours. And they see another name. So why are you with so person's exercise? We say, I did not finish my note. I borrowed it so that I can write. And the next question is, so the person now that gave you the note to write, what will he go and read at home? Say, he will read other books now. So you not sit to finish writing this thing in the class so that you will give the owner the book. Let the person go and read. You brought it home. You were not mad to bring anything, not even sharpener that did not belong to you. And if you claim someone gave it to you, the next day your parents will come to school to confirm that true, the someone gave it to you. If it was something that was not part of the school, like a bid or something, how did you get hold of this? The person's parents will come and say, okay, true, now me give my son. Like there was that. So it already laid the foundation that you were not mad to bring home something that did not belong to you. You were supposed to be content with what was yours and remove I from waiting not be your own. Now, the second question is on safety. The schools at the time knew what was happening. Periodically, teachers will carry cane and go to the hideouts. You know, some schools had those hidden places to be sure that everybody was. You, what are you? Why are you not in class? I came to. Why are you? Oh yeah, back to the classroom. Boom, you go back to the classroom. These days, I hear students can even jump fences. Why am I even talking too much? It happened in those days too. It's not just these days. Students will go to school. If it's a boarding school, in the middle of the night, they'll jump the fence, go and hang out, and come back. They're still doing it now. Or what happens when they leave the school premises? I think it was Lady Koi Koi I was seeing the other time. How schoolboys left the school premises with one of the girl. It's a boarding school, by the way. And they went to a particular house. And they all defiled the girl together. And even when the girl came back to school and told is it a principal now, the mother superior, that this is what happened to me, rather than investigate, or rather than, even though she was at fault to have left the school premises, she told her to shut up. Are schools covering up this act and also encouraging the children to continue in these criminal activities? Or are they pointing them out and calling a spade and informing parents and finding a way to give appropriate punishment, especially when it is not something that has been provided for under the law? It will now, the onus will lie on the school and the parents to determine appropriate punishment. In some cases, the school would have to determine appropriate punishment without the parents, because sometimes the parents are not even in the children's lives. Sometimes the parents cannot be reached. These days, children do something in school and you reach out to the parents. Say, we need to see you, sir. I'm busy. And maybe they never get to see the parents. And is it that the matter dies a natural death, or then they punish? But how thorough is that punishment? How does that punishment indeed serve as a deterrent? If you're just joining us, welcome. Children involvement in crimes is the conversation. We're using the story of the fleeing schoolboy who defiled his 11-year-old female schoolmate at the state secondary school. And what we may think is just one boy who defiled is the fact that other boys watched and laughed as he carried out the evil act. So it only shows that they see nothing wrong in it. Some of you would say maybe they are clueless that it's indeed a crime. But what if they're not clueless? What if they know it's a crime and they go ahead to do it anyway? What is the root cause of children involvement in crimes? And are schools ensuring the safety of the students left in their care enough? 0817 923 0002 and 0817 923 0003. Again, WhatsApp and Telegram number 0809 0306416. Fidelis says, Fidelis from Chokocho, the society nowadays is nothing to write home about. I believe the introduction of corporal punishment in our secondary schools can go a long way to curtail what is going on now in our society. Engineer Modetu says, schools and parents need to teach children good morals in their tender age. It will help our society. God help our children. Ezekiel Isaiah says, most of our present parents have failed in their responsibility, so carefree about the activities of their children, and they they are ready to quarrel and insult teachers for flogging their children. Oh, it started in those days when students will come to school with money, coins or paper money, and a student like yourself will dip their hands into your bag and steal your money. And the child will be crying, my money, I'm looking for my money. How much is the money? 20 naira. Where did you keep it? I kept it in my bag. And then the teacher will say, you know what? Nobody leaves this classroom for break. Sometimes break is going on. I saw that one happen several times. And I couldn't go on break. Why? Because one child had stormy school. So the teacher says nobody. They were going to use that break time to search for that money till it comes out. And where were they? And it's going to be unfortunate for you if you do not realize your money was stolen until people have gone for break. Because they'll go and spend it. And that way you wouldn't know who the thief is. But children at that time had learned to start stealing 50 kobo, 1 naira, 20 naira, 10 naira, 5 naira. And they had to take the teacher searching everyone down to their underwear to see who the culprit was. So guess what we started doing? We started marking our money. Yes, we started marking our money. It's because sometimes you will mark your money. And this other child who only God knows how he was able to think of such criminal thing will go and remark your money. So when they eventually find the money and you claim it's yours, the guy will show you his own mark. That Syria, I marked my money. It's my own. I'm the one that marked it. And they say, oh, you show us where you marked your money. And you now say, it's not like I really marked my money. But if you look at that money, if you check the edges, you will see that I pinched it on 2 places. And I know the number of the money and the year of the money. And they say, oh yeah, call it. And you call the number and the year. And it's that obvious that this other person had actually stolen the money. And in your head, you're like, how did you gather mind to steal my money and go and mark it as your own? It started from stealing things like pencils and erasers, to stealing rulers, 2A exercise books. But the root cause is what we are here to identify on the sunny side today. Toki Fubara says, boarding house training can help a lot. Boarding house training can help a lot to plant good behavior and fix some characters. There was a time when lots of secondary school was boarding house structured. It helps a lot for some training. The phone usage would be monitored. What the children in Japan do with their phones in comparison to what our children are doing. So let society x-ray the decadence and give appropriate solution. Did we give them gadgets too early? Was that the problem? What did we miss out? What did we not do right? What did we need to do more of? And then, of course, the schools, the safety. Because if a crime like this can happen in your school, what more can happen? It means I can't guarantee the safety of my child in your school. How did you not know to prevent such from happening in the first place? Good afternoon, Didi. For me, lack of training from the parents and poverty are part of the reasons. Some parents are even making out in front of their kids in one room and they say, no worry, na small pikin. Forgetting the mind is like a camera. Na small pikin, I think that's where they learn all these things from. Emmanuel Prince on Facebook said it's a failed society that causes children to indulge in crimes. A failed society. So what made the society fail? That's another question. You see, for every answer you give, there's always that question mark. So when you say beat up the child, what happened to people who have been beating up their children and they know the agree word? When you say it's what they are supposed to. And by the way, I hope we do know that some of the movies we see are rated. There are those that are rated PG. Parental guidance is required. It's not every movie you see together with your child. Oh, back then, we had the likes of... what was Rambo? It was Sylvester Stallone, right? Arnold Schwarzenegger was who now? But then, yeah. Is it Rambo? Which one did Arnold Schwarzenegger star in? I can't remember. I think it was Sylvester Stallone for Rambo, yeah. anything that had Bo as an actor, all them Kung Fu, Jet Li, Jackie Chan. So after school, you usually hear the children, Kushai, 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 try. They would imitate. Why? They had seen it in Snake in the Monkey Shadow. What's this other one? I don't know. You help me. And then you hear, what's that? Die. Oh, die now. I don't shoot you. No great die. Why are you not dying? I shot you now. You're supposed to die. So yeah, shoot me again. They do again. Bah! I say, oh, you're actor. Me and Bose. And we say they are playing. Could they have picked up some of these criminal activities and choose to replicate it in reality? What about the movies they say people that are not up to 18 should not see them? Big Brother Naija is rated 18 plus. But guess what? I have been to homes where parents sat on their couch with their children and they were all watching Big Brother Naija and seeing everything. And the parents were gisting with them. Who are they going to evict? Minors, for that matter. Could it be what they're exposed to? A lot of questions begging for answers. Eric from Port Harcourt, I'm so sorry. Please, you would have to call back. Good afternoon. The boy and his friends have been carrying out that act in that school. Just that this time he was seen. And when the boy is not properly corrected and punished, tomorrow he will grow up and start raping women. It's not just the boy. Some years ago, I was talking about a particular domestic help that was defiling her madam's son. And she was a minor too. Yes. Not an adult, a minor. You see, as this conversation comes to an end in the next maybe how many minutes, it only opens my eyes to how much needs to be done when it comes to crime prevention. Because like I did say earlier, if it was just the children, it would be understandable. Adults, I beg your pardon. It would be understandable. This person is an adult. This person will be made to face consequences. But when it's a child that is involved in criminal activities, when it's a child that is picking pockets, when it's a child that is buying or distributing hard drugs, oh, you don't know? Some children are the ones that sell Indian hemp to the adults. Some children are the ones that push drugs for the adults. Get paid for it. And they feel like they are tough. Such as one and number one ring leader and one man squad. Even as children. Commando is Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yes, Commando. Thank you very much. You used to watch those people, I can see. Hope you not follow them to be doing what start. I'm just saying. Lossing from Port Harcourt. Welcome, yeah. Lossing. Go ahead.
Okay. Like the last question you put forward, what can we do for this child, children being involved in crime? I remember growing up, so rest in peace, my grandmother, she happens to be like the love of my life, the person I love most. Now, what she did, you just mentioned when children, like, they're acting films, and she was looking at the picture. I remember those days when, if we were to act film, she always advised me, don't act the part of, don't be a thief, don't always be either the police or the lawyer.
Okay.
That was but that sometimes this attitude, children carry on this attitude and then they become, out of acting it and then it become what it is in real life.
In real life.
she always ensures that anything negative in life, you don't tow it, whether it is play, joke, or whatever you want to call it. And that, I think that also helps out.
All right, thank you so much. Mohammed Bulla says, no, it's a failure of the parent. If you give a good training to your child, because charity begins at home. Charity really begins at home. Parents, do your due diligence. No, from those days when they say they are doing mommy and daddy play and children will go and hide somewhere under a step to be doing funny things. Pay attention and correct it early enough so that they become better members of the society. I'm Denise Dennis-Waller. Thank you so much for being a part of the Sunny Side today. There's a recorded program coming up, and afterwards the Sunny Side comes to an end. Rivers Today comes up, and then Hard Facts. Stay tuned.
Nigeria Info will be right back.